Good morning and welcome to Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Our social milieu and our mental horizon are bombarded with facts and fiction which poses as facts. Our main concern is always about the housing and the food and the clothing, three main things. And our food is nowadays attracting particular attention. And the whole horizon is filled with the talk of superfoods, healthy foods, and all that is humbug. Food is food, and we need a balanced food. But this undue emphasis on healthy foods and the superfoods is basically an economic drive to promote their goods. And the result, we create myths and we believe them. Even when they are demolished by the science, we believe in the veracity and the truth of these myths. And that's the unfortunate part. When I hear people talk about the red wine benefits, I love red wine. There's no problem in that. But I love red wine because of its flavor, not because of its health benefit. Recently, I launched a campaign. I saw a campaign being launched by Chef Gordon Ramsay. He launched a new gin in partnership with a Scottish producer, Eden Mill. And then they said it is wholesome. It includes micronutrients of honeybees. And to quote, these have more antioxidants than the blueberries, more potassium than banana, more vitamin C than orange, and a flavor like mixture of blueberry, plum, and grape. Now, as far as the flavorness is concerned, I have no problem. But to talk of the gin having antioxidants, potassium, vitamin C is too much. And as a matter of fact, many of us would love the notion that a shot of gin could be part of our wellness routine. Then the Advertising Standard Authority of Britain came down like a ton of bricks. They said, no, this is not done. This is absolutely wrong that a gin can have nutritional claims and that are violating the advertising code. But the mistake had already been done. People already have started believing that Ramsay's gin is much more useful. But this is just one of the latest many brands keen to promote their products under the garb of wellness industry. If they can get away with it, that's fine. So it will be a nightmare for consumers trying to make conscious choices about their diet because separating nutrition fact from fad is difficult, especially now when the nutrition place is being taken over by actors and actresses. Those actors are paid to promote a product and they do it, and we always associate that they are the paragons of beauty and wellness and things like that. I was reading about one nutrition therapist, Ian Marble, and Ian explains that prior to the establishment of the European Food Standard Authority in 2002, it was very common to see advertisements or description on the product such thing as brimming with vitamin C, bursting with antioxidants. But these are meaningless statements. However, gilded a benefit, what happens is, use the statement, but the consumer is overwhelmed by the sentence brimming with vitamin C, because vitamin C the Nobel laureate Paul had said is very useful. And the bursting with antioxidants, and they're the buzzword today. So the new rules meant that the language must not be such. So what they do? They can say it's a source, it's a high in or rich in, but then a source of has to have a certain percentage of the recommended daily allowance of the nutrient intake per 100 grams. You're not supposed to say full of antioxidants. The actual legal claim is to support the normal oxidants, of which doesn't make a good advertising copy. It is not an interesting reading. It's a dull reading. Have you seen the wording when the legal wording is there? How dull it is. So these advertisements manipulate your mind and create healthy promises. But they're empty. They're unhelpful to the people and they're misleading. Now, I'll take a couple of the products which are promoted as well. Nutella, hazelnut spread. But really, Nutella is nothing but a stuff full of palm oil and sugar. And palm oil is not very good. It increases your cholesterol level. It's all saturated oil. And sugar, of course, we know, is a white poison. So why do we buy it? Because we want to believe that the food we like have health benefits. And Nutella, called to be hazelnut spread, really is nothing but palm oil and sugar. A classic example of wanting things beloved to be healthy for us, as I said earlier in the beginning, is red wine. Now, look at the reality. Red grape skins contain small amounts of resveratrol, which has potent antioxidant qualities. The skin, not the grape itself. So there's a tendency to see red wine as a quasi-health drink when the scientific consensus says no, it's not health drink at all. It's just alcohol with flavor taken from the grape and things like that. Often, the superfood is exactly a passing fashion. You remember in India, people used to take desi ghee, clarified butter. And then the hydrogenated oils came and they said, no, this is harmful, it will cause you heart attack. And then non-hydrogenated oils, they say hydrogenated oils are harmful, they'll create plaque in your arteries. So the things change, the health things change. In the Second World War, aluminium was in short supply because aluminium was required for making aeroplanes. So it was said that aluminium is harmful, should not be used in cooking utensils. And people started selling it. The superfood, as I said, is a fad. And today, nowadays, another superfood has come up. CBD, cannabis. Yesterday it was goji berry. Today is CBD. Tomorrow, I don't know what it would be. But as I've shown you, Nutella, I've shown you red wine, and given how tricky it can be to navigate the confusion, look at the food labels and don't take things at the face value. That's a major thing. And now another thing is coming up, plant-based meat, plant-based hamburger. It's bullshit. Just because something has a plant based on the packet does not make you healthier. No way. Same is the gluten-free, which also come with the similar connotations. You have got to see really the ingredients and the percentage, what percentage of the daily value they have. So when the healthy food products are purchased, they are not as impressive as they seem. Another product which comes to my mind is kombucha, the Korean drink. It started as a craze in Los Angeles with home brewed portions. Now it can be found on all the corner stores, on the shelves and cans. And we forget that the fermented food can pose risk for the immunocompromised. Everybody cannot use fermented foods and should not. Especially the people who have immuno problems should not use it. And according to the doctors, evidence to support the health benefit of the fermented foods, including kombucha, are very rare. Despite being around for thousands of years, all the benefits are anecdotal, not well researched. But people go and take kombucha by the score, making it, deeming it to be a panacea for the gut. A systematic review in 2019 identified only one control study examining health benefits of kombucha from the human subjects. The rest was all animals and in vitro studies. Now, animal study may not be pertinent to you. In vitro study is mostly theoretical. And there was seen in that study concern for the health risk, particularly for the vulnerable classes whose immunity is compromised. Then sugar content in kombucha is also a concern. All kombucha to be manufactured requires sugar as a part of the fermentation process. And according to the scientists, fermented foods have to show evidence-based probiotics. And another product incidentally comes to mind is sourdough. Are you aware that the store dough that you buy, bread, store dough bread, in the stores contains more ingredients than shoppers may expect? It is lauded as an alternative to overly processed bread. And the additives are often the root cause of the gluten problem. It should be as simple as flour, water and salt. That's bread. But as the demand for the bread increased, the supermarket sales have shot up 98% for the sourdough. And it's not more healthy. And many of the loaves on the shelves are by no means pure, real sourdough. An investigation was done by a consumer reviewer. They looked at 19 brands of sourdough sold in the supermarkets. And only 4 were made the traditional way with 3 basic ingredients. The rest contained extra ingredients such as yeast, ascorbic acid, yogurt and vinegar. And these are not necessarily bad. No, I don't say they are bad or unhealthy, but it's misleading the consumer. And that's the biggest hoodwink in the recent years. Then another thing which has come up, very popular, Yakult and probiotics. Everybody take probiotics. They support gut health. But then they are useful when taken as a part of the balanced diet, which has adequate fiber intake, regular physical activity, and a good hygiene. I remember in India, the food used to be there. There used to be dal, the lentils, bread, yogurt, achar, everything. And that's better rather than have just Greek yogurt, which my son takes. For most healthy people, it's unnecessary. So, and if you are taking long-term antibiotics, then probiotics are useful, not otherwise. Something we the consumers have to be aware of is that the idea that probiotics are good for the immune system has not been clinically proven. To include this on the packaging, a lot of companies add a supplement like vitamin C because it is a legal health claim for the immune system. So when they say sports immune health system, when we consumer think that means the probiotics, it's wrong. Actually, the reference to vitamin C, not to probiotics. So it's a sneaky advertisement. It's worth imagining that chocolate, for example, has 10 grams of sugar and the sweet stuff is thought to be bad for the gut and yet is promoted like that. Another thing that is promoted is coconut water. It used to be, I used to enjoy it, I even now enjoy it, but it was an exotic holiday. Coconut water has become popular because of the perceived hydrating qualities. But there is research was done and has been seen that coconut water is slightly more hydrating than the regular water because it's from a plant and it has some minerals, but mostly it's water. So after exercise, if you take it, it's fine. But if you take it otherwise, well, it's a good drink, but not necessarily healthy. And coconut oil, similarly, is promoted as an ideal cooking oil. But the high level of saturated fats in the coconut oil need a caution. You like the coconut oil, fine, use it, but not because it's healthy. Coconut oil is actually a form of the medium chain triglycerides, and they provide a fuel for the brain. That's not glucose. No, that's ketogenic diet. Take that out of context and it suddenly becomes so good that you can cook with it. But don't forget, still saturated fat. So, coconut oil phase is waning now. For the simple reason it's 80% saturated fat. But the people still have not got over the myth. The biggest problem, and then come these protein bars and shakes. They are no use at all. They are just sugar. Similarly, shakes are loaded with unnecessary amounts of sugar and additives. So check the ingredients. Then granola. People say granola, but what is granola? You have replaced sugar puffs and cocoa puffs with healthy granola. But granola has a huge amount of sugar and it's no good. Yes, if you are taking muesli, as long as low in sugar is fine. So these myths have been created by the businesses through subtle advertising for their economic benefit and not for the health reasons. And these myths mislead you and me into consuming those items which are not necessarily good for us. So get over the craze of the healthy foods. Eat normal diet, balanced diet, and all would be well with you, and take healthy exercise if you can, which I can't. But depending on the health foods is in fact being unhealthy.